All right, so y'all know how this goes down. Another week of Venchie Talk. And before we jump into it, you know the vibes. Let me get the jar. Let me go and get a little sippity dibbity. Hold on. Pull that. Y'all hear that? Okay, ain't no more up in there after that one. Okay, it don't matter. It don't matter. Let me get a little sip up in here. Hold on. Oh, pinky up. All right, sippity dibbity. All right, we ready. On today's episode of Venchie Talks, we're going to keep it simple. I'm talking about one topic simple. And the topic today is the $1 billion valuation of a popular app that if you're not on, your mama's on, or your daddy or your cousin's on. But the only way to be on it is invite only. So do you have an invite to the app known as Clubhouse? And if you do, after knowing how much it is worth, or has the potential of being worth, do you feel as though you got played with your intellectual property? I know, might be a little confusing to most, but I'm gonna put you on game. Once again, this is Venchie Talks. This app Clubhouse and its $1 billion valuation lets me know this one thing. This company or this app has some legs behind it. Definitely more legs than it had back in May when it was valuated at 100 million. Now it's 10 times more at 1 billion. That lets you know that the right eyes are on this company. Initially, it was started by Paul Davidson and Rohan Seth, who used to be an ex-Google employee. And I guess you can say by any measure, this app is a success. Now, what's the backstory behind it though? Like what really brought it to its forefront? Because back in May, it was only restricted or exclusive to A-listers, Hollywood folks, Oprah, Tiffany Haddish, Meek Mills, the list goes on. But none of those people on there was probably you and me. That is until it was opened up to invites only, of course, and certain people who look like you and I got on it and figured out a way to make it more entertaining. And that's what brings me to the meat and potatoes of today's Venchie Talks. How do you understand the worth of a product? How to push it, how to get it in front of the right people's eyes and then profit from it. Because Clubhouse figured that out. You got people clawing, trying to get a piece of this Clubhouse pie. But the people who are on it right now, the influencers, the people who are running these clubhouses, because there are clubhouses within the Clubhouse app. Think of it as being at an institution of higher learning, and then each room you go into has a different lecture on a different subject. That's Clubhouse in a nutshell. In order to get a clubhouse, to run a clubhouse, you have to be consistent with your content. You literally have to be on there every day. They want to know that you are dedicated to this app. And then they may grant you your own clubhouse. Now, anybody can go on there and start a room, because you don't really have to be that consistent. You can open up a room, close the room, and then never come back. So I think that's what drives this app. There are influencers from other applications, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, who have stumbled on this real estate and they're trying to find a way to make it their own. And you do know, along with influencers, wherever they go, their following goes. And where the following goes, the money goes. At this $1 billion valuation, it lets me know that at least the founders, they're about to get the payday. They about to get the bag. But what about those influencers? What about the people running these rooms and making the app what it is? How are they profiting? Yes, I hear a lot of people who say, oh, man, I've been able to network with people. I've gotten gigs off of this app and stuff like that. That's fine. Those are engagements, or those are business moves made on your behalf and your efforts. But to be on the app and bring the app to its forefront, what are they giving you? What are they paying you? If you're getting nothing, you kind of see where I'm going with this? Sounds like free labor. I get it. Sometimes you got to put out the free work to get the bag later on. But I haven't read any press release. I haven't heard anything from the founders. I haven't heard anything from the marketing team of the company, which if you Google Clubhouse, try to figure out all of the members, it is very hard to find. That raises some suspicion for me. I'm not trying to say that the Clubhouse app is extracting from a certain people's culture, likeness, and appeal and profiting off of it. No. Why would I say that? Why would I say that? I mean, it's not like there's other apps that currently do that. TikTok. All I'm saying is this. If there's nothing in place right now as we speak that's going to benefit the influencers or the people on there running the app, then we have a problem. I know as soon as this company IPOs, and if you don't know what IPO is, it's the initial public offering, the price that they put out to buy shares at a specific price. The main people who profit off of IPOs are the initial investors, the angel investors, and that's just the truth. So although the company is going in the right direction from a business standpoint, I don't see how this company utilizes or extracts so much of the man hours from each person on this app and they're not properly compensated. I know sooner or later there's going to be a pilot program that rewards certain people who have put in those man hours. But a lot of times, i.e. TikTok, there are certain people who don't get compensated. And the difference between being on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, as opposed to being on Clubhouse is this. You really have to be living this Clubhouse life. There's no set it and forget it for Clubhouse. You literally have to be in these rooms for hours on end, talking about stuff that, quite frankly, I'm not knocking nobody. Get your hustle on. But a lot of these rooms that you're in, it's for information that you could have Googled. It's for information that you could have utilized YouTube. You could have taught yourself this stuff. I'm just being 100 with you. I've been in a few rooms where it's literally just a follow for follow room. It's a follow all the moderators, go onto their Instagram, yada yada, follow them, and we're going to check if you followed or not. If you're not, I'm going to kick you out the room. I'm going to kick you out of this Clubhouse. It's that type of vibe sometimes in some of these rooms. A lot of other rooms, cool, can be beneficial. I've been in rooms for introverts. I've been in rooms for people who have issues with public speaking. Hell, I've been in rooms for just podcasts in general. How to strategize, how to advertise, how to get the best out of your podcast. There's benefits to this app. But for right now, if the benefit isn't a plan for monetary compensation for its users, I don't know what to tell you. And keep in mind, on a daily basis, Clubhouse has 800,000 active users on any given day, which is quite impressive for the fact that it's only available on Apple devices and isn't open to the general population yet. It's only by invite. So you can see by just that small amount of metrics that this app is going to take off. So when it comes to Clubhouse, how will you monetize your users? What is the game plan to ensure that everybody at the table eats? But I don't want you guys to think that that's the only way to get the bag. There's other ways in leveraging these apps to get the bag on your own. But before I get into that, y'all know what time it is. It's time to pay those bills with our sponsor. And our sponsor today is none other than Falcon Blue Fitness. You know Falcon Blue Fitness, that mobile fitness boot camp as well as virtual fitness boot camp. Either they can come to you if you live in Paso Robles, King City, or San Luis Obispo, that's in California. And if not, they can jump online with you via Zoom or on YouTube, Instagram, you name it, they will find you and help you get to work. Right now, they got a promo going on that ends on January 31st, 2021, and that is the Get to Work Sessions. Buy 2 for 1. Oh yes, 2 sessions for the price of 1. So if you're ready to get to work, you know where to find them. Hop on to www.falconbluefitness.com today, and remember, no Blue Falcons allowed. All right, so as I was alluding to before, when it comes to utilizing any one of these social media apps, having a following established on one of the apps makes it easier to get them to follow you onto a newer one. But the question is this: what happens when you don't have a lot of followers? How do you get monetized? Quite simply, you got to put in the work. Quite simply, you will have to put a lot of man hours in, as you are already on Clubhouse or any of these other apps, and a lot of your content will have to be put out for free up front You gotta give these viewers and audience that free product, give them a taste, and then make them feel comfortable enough to spend their coins on whatever your product is. I know it's never easy, but that's where the hard work comes in. A lot of people are not willing to put the hard work in. A lot of people want the glory without the story. So for those people, I want to take you down a particular road of this one person that I follow on social media. His name is Kev on Stage. Kev on Stage, when I first discovered him, or when I first was alerted to him, was when he was working for All Def Digital. It's just a digital entertainment subsidiary of like Def Jam. Russell Simmons was at the head of it, and Kev on Stage was one of the content creators, comedian, family man, but his spin on it always came from, a very religious place, very Christian place, and that was his target audience, but he found a way to make it relatable to everyone, and that's what caught my eye. But that's not where it stopped with Kev on Stage. Kev on Stage worked alongside, or still works alongside, a particular person named Patrick Cloud. Another one is To Hear More, and the last one is a very hilarious man by the name of Tony Baker. If you don't follow any of these guys, look them up, man. I promise you will be pleased with their content and just the overall people that they are. But Kev on Stage, if no one else that I've seen on social media has found a way to utilize these platforms and pretty much bring them together and push them out towards his overall purpose or overall goal. He would utilize these platforms, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, put out the content, keep dishing out free content, YouTube as well. Free content, comedy, this, and that. And built a following. And this is over years, man. This takes time, but he was dedicated to it. And alongside him, Tony Baker was doing the same thing. Patrick Cloud was doing the same thing. And To Hear More, they're doing the same thing. But what stood out about Kev on Stage is the fact that his end game was always to own something similar to the impact that Tyler Perry has on the black community. That's what he does. That's what he wanted to do. Fast forward to 2021, he has his Keep Your Distance comedy tours, which are hilarious. He has his own soundstage now, as well as his own app, the Kev on Stage Studios app, which pretty much showcases black talented comedians, artists, his own shows, and it supports new jobs for minorities and mainly the black community, which hands down I applaud all day. Like I cannot be more pleased and just inspired. But what he did was realize that the apps will not always be in your favor. Once the algorithms for the apps come into play, now your reach goes from 100% to probably roughly 1% of your audience getting to see your stuff without turning on notifications and stuff like that. A lot of times they're not going to go out of their way to find you if it doesn't just show up on their timeline. So he would drive all of his content back to his website and then his patron website. And if you want to understand just how the business works, follow that man, because he gave out, and he still continues to give out countless hours of information that is beneficial to any up and coming entrepreneur. Doesn't only have to be comedian. Whatever you do, just follow that blueprint. And I promise you, you will not be at the mercy of any of these apps hoping that they verify you, hoping that they monetize you, hoping that they just notice you. Utilize these social media apps for exactly what they are. A way to be social and get your content out there. After that, drive them to something that you own, your website that you own, your content on that website that you own. You don't have to worry about anybody pulling your information. Make sure you archive all of your information, your analytics, everything. That way, when it's time to sit at the table with these investors, people who actually carry the bag and they're willing to invest in you, you got your metrics, you got your numbers, you got the important information that lets these people know I can make you money because I've already been making it on my own without you. Because at the end of the day, that's all they care about. What do you think about the $1 billion valuation of the Clubhouse app? Have you ever been on the Clubhouse app? And do you see value in the Clubhouse app? And if you haven't done so already, to all my podcast listeners, whether you're on Spotify, Google, or Apple, be sure to leave a subscribe and a review. It really helps me continue to put out content and to make it better for the listeners. And to all my people watching on YouTube, make sure you leave a like, share, subscribe. You know the deal, you know the vibes, and I greatly appreciate it. And just like that, this ends another episode of Venchie Talks. I have been Creator Venchie. It's been a blast talking to you guys, putting you up on game about the business sector and how to better yourself. Always stay intact about your mental health. If you feel as though something's not right internally, do not feel bad when it comes to letting other people know, because guess what? At the end of the day, it's all about your mentals and it's all about your personal growth. And remember, this life ain't perfect, but it's worth it. Get to work.